Hello folks, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight after Rangers defeated Livingston by 1-0. The Spaghetti had to go into the semi-finals of the Betfred Cup, and what to say about that match? Well, it wasn't a good performance, and the most important thing in cup football is being in the hat at the end of it, etc, etc. And Rangers did do that part of it. We won 1-0 with a goal from Glenn Kamara, a deflected goal that came after 4 minutes. And I think after that, I expected Rangers to settle down and maybe play a bit of football. Look, it's not sour grapes because we've won, but that pitch is a disgrace. It just should not be allowed in top level football. You can't pass on the bloody thing, and that's why it ends up getting played in the air so much. Look, it is allowed, and Livingston do it, and they play to their strength. Their budget is minuscule compared to ours, so I'm not knocking them for their style of play. It's not their job to sit back and let us beat them. But I mean, for an entertainment spectacle, there wasn't much in it. But credit to Livy, because they really came out after the goal and they got on the front foot and they got after Rangers. I think the referee was a little bit lenient with some of the play. There's an incident with one of their defenders where first of all he's forearmed Alfredo Morelos, and then after that he's immediately leapt up and elbowed Joe Aribo so hard that Joe Aribo's needed 20 stitches and had to leave the field and be substituted. Like, it's a red card. I know the law say, reckless could be a yellow card, but endangering an opponent is a red card. Now, if he's got 20 stitches because you're chucking your arms about, you've endangered them. A very poor decision by the referee. Possibly balanced up, I've got to say. As I mentioned before on here, I do like to be honest. Philip Helander, who had a tough night up against Dykes, their big forward. A long ball through the middle, which caused the Rangers centre-backs a lot of trouble all night. He seemed to lose it. He knew he was getting outpaced, and the two of them came together and he went to the ground and brought down Dykes as he was doing so. It probably was a red card, I've got to say. Now, yes, there's no such thing as the last man rule, but was it a clear goal scoring opportunity? Yeah, if he'd got away from him, it was. So probably should have been down to 10 men each, but they should have been down to 9 because Dykes himself, first of all, he has a head-high kick at Connor Goldson, which he didn't even get booked for, and then he does get booked for a bad tackle, so he shouldn't have been on the park either. I expected a reaction from Rangers in the second half. We've seen it a lot lately, and we didn't get it for the first 20 minutes of the second half. It got scary because Livingston were all over us, but thankfully Devlin, their other fullback, Dykes himself have all wasted good chances, and Stevie Davis has produced another miraculous goal line clearance from another Livy attack, and we were rocking. And I want to give a bit of credit to Andy King, a guy we've not mentioned very much this season because we haven't seen him very much. He came on, and while he wasn't brilliant or anything, I thought he helped us, just that experience, that cool head. He calmed the game down and he helped us get control of the midfield again, take the sting out of Livingston, and in the end Rangers maybe could have added a second and certainly ran the clock down far more comfortably in the last 15 minutes than we had up to that. Not going to kid anybody on, it wasn't a good performance. The gaffer didn't seem too happy with it either. He came out into the word with Philip Helander at the end of the match. And if it was true that Niko Katic was dropped because he struggled to handle Dykes a couple of weeks ago, then I don't know what the manager would have felt about Helander's display tonight. But let's not do that Rangers thing of going, oh, he's rubbish. He's not rubbish, right? He had a tough game, physical conditions on what appears to be a sort of a green carpet. It resembles the turf you get at garden centres. So yeah, it was all about getting through, where I thought when I saw the draw was Hearts or Aberdeen, I expected it to be Hearts, but to be Aberdeen, sorry, but it is Hearts that will take on in the semi-final. Look, we've got a good recent record against Hearts, but they'll be going into it in a high because they were very close to being out. I think it was like a 94th minute goal to get them extra time tonight and then through on penalties, and they also won the Edinburgh Derby at the weekend. So Aberdeen last season in the semi taught us we don't take anything for granted. If Rangers want to make that final, and we desperately do, we've got to perform in that match. But hey, we're there, and that's all that matters. Speaking of Aberdeen, we've got them on Saturday at Ibrox. Look, these are two sides that don't like each other. These are two sets of players that don't appear to like each other very much. It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical. We know what they're going to do. They're going to sit in 2 banks of 4, low block, and try and strangle us and hit us on the counter-attack. Rangers have got to show, lay down a marker that we're better than we were last season, because this is a game we would have lost last season. Absolutely. But you could say the same about tonight. Last year we went to Livy on a night or an afternoon like this, played terribly and lost. Tonight we've come away with a victory, and that's a good habit for Rangers to be getting into. If you want to hear more from us here at Heart and Hand, more from the team even, not me, and who can blame you for that, then please join us. Heart and Hand Extra, our Thursday podcast, drops tomorrow on Apple, Android, free, YouTube, wherever you get podcasts, it'll be there for you. And if you want even more, please come to our Patreon site, Heart and Hand, on Patreon, patreon.com/Heart and Hand, where you'll get up to 5 shows every single day. Try it. People love it. Our retention rate is over 90%, which means 9 people out of 10 feel that it's worth the $1.99 per month they pay for it. So 9 out of 10 Blue Noses can't be wrong. Thank you very, very much for joining me, and I'll talk to you again on Saturday evening after we hopefully beat Aberdeen. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.